Welcome back to Necrobarista. We've probably got a bit more reading to do in this episode. I don't think we've been out here before, have we? Teen Transient. I should probably look at it at least. Okay, that's for free. We'll definitely read that. Let's see first if we've got anything else here to read. There's Beth too. What about around here? Can I go up here? I can, but not past there. That looks like it's readable, yeah. Is that supposed to say funeral? Or is that supposed to be a pun? I'm never really sure. Because there have been quite a few spelling mistakes in some of the texts. So it could be a pun. It could also just be a misspelling. How much does it cost? I can unlock it, but I'd rather see if I can unlock Beth 2 first. I can't. Okay. So, funereal. It is. I've been thinking, said Kashan. Uh-oh, said Maddy. About the people that I've left behind, said Kashan. I'm not going to see any of them again. One of them could be about to walk through that door, said Maddy. Don't taunt me with possibilities, said Kashan. You brought it up. Yeah, well, he slumped over in a funk. Death has a real finality to it, you know? Yeah, it does, said Maddy. That's death. The travel from life to death is a very one-way street for all but a few individuals, and if you're standing here, then it's a bit late for chest paddles. I guess I'm thinking more about the fact that I'm not going to see any of my old friends again. Not as long as they're alive, anyway. That does tend to be how death works, said Maddy. I hope you're not surprised. Not surprised, said Kashan. But also, I wouldn't have been surprised if that wasn't the case, you know? Like, I'm pretty sure on at least one occasion I've threatened people by saying, I will haunt you. Now that's never going to happen. Pity, said Maddy. You could have been someone's grudge ghost film. Guess that one's confined to the annals of a Japanese horror cinema. Hey, said Kashan. I was wondering, do you think there's any way for me to see what's going on at my funeral? Don't, said Maddy. Alright, said Kashan. I just thought, it's kind of everyone's fantasy, right? To see what people have to say about them after they've passed. Wouldn't you want to see what was going on at your own funeral? I think it's none of your business what goes on at your funeral, said Maddy. Really? Said Kashan. I mean, I think it's pretty common for people to plan their own funerals. At least if they go late enough that they can see it coming. I get the meaning of the sentence. I don't really get how it's supposed to work grammatically. I'd like to have my brother deliver a eulogy. Don't let them play any Barry Manilow songs, that sort of thing. Maddy blinked. Do you have a problem with Barry Manilow? No, I have no particular opinion on the man or his music, said Kashan. But a lot of people who are old enough to be planning their own funeral do. You can make a plan. Probably, Maddy. You can make your plans, but whatever unfolds at the funeral is up to those who attend it. Kashan blinked. What about the wishes of the dead? Thought you'd have a bit more sympathy for their interests considering how often you interact with them. I care plenty about the dead, said Maddy. You were asking about funerals. Funerals are for the living, my friend. Kashan opened his mouth to respond, but cut himself short. I never thought about it that way. I'm not sure what to say. If you're short on words but high on energy, you can expend some of that energy by carrying this box upstairs, said Maddy, gently kicking a large cardboard box that was resting underneath the counter. There's an alcove next to the bookshelf that would make a good home for this box. Kashan picked up the box, grateful for something to do with his hands. It was heavy enough that he had to make sure to lift with his legs and not with his back, but not so heavy that he fell out of breath by the time that he reached the top of the stairs. His breathing was heavy but not laboured. It was a good feeling. Kishan set the box down at the spot Maddy had designated and sat down for a moment, waiting for his heart rate to return to normal. It felt good to feel his heart beating inside of his chest. This is how it feels to be alive, he thought to himself. Damn, I'm gonna miss it. Okay. That's probably one of the reasons why he doesn't really want to go. Oh, there's another one here. Why he doesn't really want to leave this place. Perfectionist. I can't. Okay. Well. Teen transient it is then. A teenage boy approached the counter. Shoulders slumped forward, head down, eyes on the ground, up until the moment he looked up to order a drink. He was old enough that he could have passed for a young adult with a better presentation, but the posture coupled with the oversized backpack he was wearing were a dead giveaway. Irrespective of his age, he was still just a kid. Can I get a Coke? An order befitting of a kid. Yeah, I think we can manage that, said Maddy. Think fast, said Che. Maddy turned around just in time to see an aluminium can hurtling toward her. She almost caught it. The can rolled back toward Che, who scooped it off the floor. He hesitated a moment before setting it on the counter. No ice, right? Said Che. The boy nodded. No. Oh yeah? Yes to no ice. Che cracked open the can and poured it into a waiting glass, which he then slid down the counter, pushing it gently enough that it came to a rest in front of the teenage boy. The boy grabbed the glass. Thanks, he said. He glanced around the room. If you're looking for a place to sit, there should be plenty of seats upstairs. Just gonna assume that was Che? It doesn't really matter. The boy nodded and headed for the stairs, drink in hand. Plenty of seats down here too, said Maddy, turning to Che. Yeah, said Che, but I think upstairs is more Twan's pace. What did you just call him? Twan, said Che. People have names, you know. Oh, people have names, you know. That's the problem with having regulars, said Maddy. People expect you to remember their names. Though, now that I think about it, Twan probably wouldn't mind finding out that you don't know his name. Can't have your name on Maddy's shit list if she doesn't know it. Should he be on my shit list? Said Maddy. No, he's harmless, said Che. Maybe a bit susceptible to peer pressure, but I think that's why he comes here. To meet with peers? To meet people who aren't his peers, said Che. How many glum teenagers do you see around here? Too many, said Maddy. Maybe not enough, said Che. Please tell me you don't actually mean that, said Maddy. Teenagers have the highest noise to spending ratio of any demographic. Not the glum ones, said Che. And if I were a glum teenager trying to find my place in the world and trying to carve out an identity for myself, I could imagine a worse place to do it than right here. Teenagers can go be glum somewhere else, said Maddy. Whatever happened to proper teenage delinquency? That was Maddy. Be careful what we wish for, said Che. We've been mercifully delinquent-free for quite a while now. Proper teen delinquents don't loiter in coffee shops, said Maddy. They set things on fire, spray paint alleyways, and stay out past curfew. Does the city have a curfew for minors? It should. Yeah, got that one right. They really should do something to make it more obvious who's speaking. Should, said Maddy. Teens need to be able to break rules, and all the better if committing acts of vandalism at 11 PM gives them a 2 for 1. Maybe they should avoid delinquency and just stick to general mischief, said Che. Oh no, said Maddy. We already have plenty of mischief around here ever since Ashley set up shop. Got it, said Che. Next time I see Twan, I'll tell him he needs to be committing more crimes. What will you do if he actually takes your advice? He won't, said Che. Peer pressure only works if it's from a peer. Someone of my age telling him he'll be cool if he starts swiping liquor won't do much to assure him that becoming a thief is a ticket to popularity and acceptance. So find another teenager to tell him. I'll keep my eye out, said Che. Alright, Now the door is opened back again. Do we have enough memories, there you go, for anything else? That should do it, right? Now the problem is, where the hell is it? Ashley's journal. Wait, we've read The Fisherman, right? We have. Oops, that was not what I wanted. That was what I wanted. So, the things don't even disappear once you've read them, which makes the whole process of finding things a bit difficult. Crucible product reviews, Judgment 1. How about that one? No, not quite. How about Judgment 1? Also no. Can I find Ashley's journal somewhere? I'd assume it would be upstairs where Ashley's room is. Whether it's actually there is a different question. Maddy's inbox. Have we read that? No, we haven't, and we still can't. Delicate operation. There's the billiards. Okay. Anything along this line here? No. All this movement is making me sick. I think we're just gonna leave it at that then. And wait, what is that? Keep the balance, okay. We'll go back to the story, to the main story, and we'll just see if we can read stuff next time. Day 2, 8:15 p.m. outside the terminal. I don't have the energy for this. Maddy's been running on empty for several days now, especially with everyone watching me. I hope you packed enough conductors. My order form was pretty vague. I shouldn't be worrying about the conductors when I'm not even sure I can pull the whole thing off without some sort of major screw-up happening. Supplier knew what I wanted the conductors for anyway, so he would have packed enough. A good supplier knows enough about their clients to anticipate their needs. There's a certain amount of nosiness that is polite. And he knows that I've got Ashley helping me. Helping you with what, Madeline? Oh. Piss off, Ned. Rude. You should respect your elders, you know? Ned is not a young man, even by the standards of semi-mortals. God, listen to you. The council made you soft, didn't it? Oh, respect your elders. Follow all our totally arbitrary rules, or we'll make up some cheap reason to destroy your business. My name's Ned and I love rules. You done? Yep. Cool. You sound wounded. A steel chestplate can save you from a bleeding heart, but not a bruised ego. You should be nicer. Wow, sick comeback. What was it that guy you killed said? Oh Christ, I'm shot. Oh no, woe is me. Just a little throwback humor for you. Did I strike a nerve? Did you just... Did I just what? Maddy. When Ned spoke next, it was in a deep dark cadence steeped in guilt and self-loathing. If Maddy had been able to see his eyes, she would have faced a withering glare. We're rapidly reaching a point of no return. I can no longer promise to shield you from the consequences of your actions. What you did just there, quoting one of my victim's dying words at me, that was low. Even for you. Frankly, I'm disgusted. You dare to poke at my guilt? You dare? Let's talk about guilt, shall we? I don't suppose you might have anything weighing on your conscience right now, would you? As I thought. They may still weigh heavily on me, but I am absolved of my sins. Some moral debts take a lifetime to work off. Ned's had more than a few lifetimes. I've had 100 years to process that, and to redeem myself through my actions. Your sins are fresh. There are lance marks on your soul, deep cuts in your aura. Swallow your arrogance, novice. I know what you did. Maddy's sins weigh heavy on Ned's mind. They weigh even heavier on hers. And I can't wait to see how you plan to make this right. Episode 5. Rainy Moods. Day 2, 8:30 p.m. The terminal. Is that Tuan then? And who's that? Tuan, age 16. Thinks he's smart. Not antisocial, just shy. Read a bunch of Wikipedia articles on optometry and considers himself somewhat of an expert. Hannah, age 16, knows she's too smart for her own good. Hobbies, people watching. Self-indulgent teenage angst. Taking advantage of the fact that she's too smart for her own good. So, I'm not sure that alcohol actually makes you feel anything. In fact, going by its chemical properties, I'd say it's the opposite. Shut up, dork. We're planning a heist. Metaphysical debates about alcohol can come after. But this isn't metaphysics. I'm just talking about simple chemical interactions with our brains. Tuan is a guy who has the look of someone who knows more about chemical interaction than human interaction. Please take the energy you're putting into pedantry and redirect it towards the plan. Hannah is a girl who's ordinarily down for wordplay, but right now she's too busy with physical shenanigans to have time for verbal shenanigans. The plan? The plan? What's the plan? I was thinking I could just reach over the bar and grab the first bottle I see. Sounds risky. Very chaotic neutral. And what's your alignment then? Neutral good? Uh-huh. I'd say I was lawful neutral, but that's the coward's option. Yeah. But getting back to the plan. She's already executed the plan. Oh. Using your own pedantry to distract you was absolutely part of the plan. Wow, so little faith in me. Gotta minimize liabilities here. Hannah's still learning to trust this guy. He doesn't have the look of an interloper, but you can never be too safe. You're out here playing checkers while I'm playing 6-dimensional upside down laser chess. Shit. I've galaxy brained this and now I'm holding the fruits of my labor. Don't you mean our labor? If you insist. Give me a closer look at that. What sort of fruit did we pluck from the booze tree? Really stretching that metaphor out, huh? Yep. I don't recognize the language on this label. What? Let me look. What the hell? I don't recognize it either. Maybe it's a cipher. A cider is made from fermented apple juice. A cipher is made from fermented word juice. Who'd make you read a cipher just to know what you're drinking? A sadist? Oh, we could ask Maddy what it is. She's a sadist, right? What do you call someone who enjoys the empathic pain they feel from hurting others? Yeah, that idea sounds great. Let's go find her then. Apart from the fact that we specifically nicked it from her. Oh, right. You're meant to be the lawful one here, dude. We agreed on neutral good. Me not challenging your assertion does not make it an agreement. Regardless. Wait, hold on. I sense a dark presence. Do you feel it? No, I don't feel anything particularly spooky in the air. Yeah, me neither. That looks like Maddy, doesn't it? Or Ashley? It's Maddy, yeah. Hello, children. I see you've stooped to petty thievery. Some of the bottles on that shelf are old enough that swiping them would be an act of ground theft. Not this one, however. Alice sprung. Can't believe my heist career is over so quickly. Don't give up on your dreams, kid. Speaking of, you know what happens when you drink this? I was assuming some sort of drunkenness. Does it make your teeth fall out? Well, last time I had a shot of this I woke up in Adelaide. Wow. So the result was 700 kilometers worth of drunkenness and bad decisions. But I woke up 6 hours before I took the shot. Had to drive a rented car back and explain to Jay why I had disappeared without a trace and somehow accidentally time travel. Holy shit, can we give it a try? God no. You ever heard of liquor licensing laws? I'd end up in jail. I think it'd be an excellent formative experience. Yeah, if you're not perpetuating teen drinking culture, you're a loser. Somehow, I remain unconvinced by your passionate arguments. Well, we tried. You kids have way too much time on your hands, you know that? Better than not having enough, right? I'm utilizing my time to practice my skills. It's not wasted. Well, the non-existent industry sector that relies solely on the skill of reaching over bars and stealing bottles of enchanted booze is going to be lucky to have you. Aw, that's so validating. Thanks. Can I get you to a coffee or anything? Hot chocolate? I'm kind of busy tonight, but I'm hoping that bribing you with free drinks will stop you from nicking my shit. I'll take a free drink. I feel guilty taking one since it was all too answer to you. Hey! But I'll graciously accept your offer. Neat. What will it be? Hot chocolates for both of us? Hot chocolates for both of us. Alrighty, 2 hot chocolates coming up. Seriously, don't steal anything else while my back's turned or I'll feed you to Spite Elemental. I wonder... Spite Elemental. Maybe it's a metaphor. Is she saying that she'll eat us? Is she the Spite Elemental? Oh no. Maybe the real Spite Elementals were the friends we made along the way. I hate this. Fair. Who are you? Samantha, age 32, American, visiting Melbourne for work, devastatingly patient. Trust me, you kids don't want to meet a Spite Elemental. Have you? Yeah. Got pretty close to not making it out alive. I guess you're in a fairly exciting line of work then. This woman's line of work might seem intriguing to someone looking in from the outside, but to her it's all business. It gets that way sometimes. But Spite Elementals aren't exciting. They're terrifying. They suck all the air out of a room and make the world ache. And they don't die easy. Huh. That's kind of metal. You sure do need brass balls to face one down, that's for sure. And a steely gaze? What? Cause steel is a metal, and I said it was metal, and then you mentioned brass balls, so... Hannah, please back me up. Nope, you brought this on yourself, mate. No. Nah, she's totally right. What's going on here? You're bullying my customers, Samantha? Of course not. Good, because that's my job. You two should go enjoy the evening. There's a nice breeze blowing. You remembered my name. That's sweet. Sweet isn't a word that people often use to describe Maddy. That's the kind of remark that says more about the person who's talking than the person they're talking about. Of course I did. You're interesting. Doesn't that describe everyone who walks through your doors, though? Absolutely not, especially not in the way that you are. Some people would take offense at that. Your boss, must be very different to mine. Well, my old boss, I guess. I'm my own boss now, actually. Maddy thinks she can make it all on her own. She just might turn out to be right. Apologies, your approach to hospitality work is very different from what I'm used to, is what I'm trying to say. Figures. Where do you work? Just some dive bar overseas. Wretched hive of scum and villainy. The owner would never shut up about treating every client like royalty. Sounds like a pain in the ass if you ask me. I'm not asking actually, but I appreciate the sentiment nonetheless. So, can I get you anything? Surprise me. You'd like me to pick you something? Yeah. Mind if I ask you a couple questions? Are they related to the drink? Yeah. Shoot. Okay. What's your favorite white wine? You're not making me a wine cocktail, are you? No. I'm partial to a glass of Marsanne every now and then. Fancy. Next question. Have you ever read a star chart? Like in astrology? No. Why? I don't put any stock in mysticism. Hey, this place isn't mystical. It's built out of cold hard facts. To some people this place seems otherworldly, for others this is just the world they live in. I just don't know them all yet. Alright, fair enough. Last question. You're walking in the shallows of an ocean that seems to go into the distance forever. You can't see any land aside from the sand under your feet. Whenever you step forward, the sand sinks just a little bit. As far as you can see, there's no way to escape. Drowning is the only possible outcome. What do you do? Wow, I feel like I'm about to pull out a Void Kampf machine or something. It's obviously some sort of test. I run, I swim, I dive when I can. And if I eventually drown, so be it. There's nowhere else to go and no point in sitting and waiting for starvation or sharks or someone to save me. I have to take action. Interesting. So, what's the verdict? Samantha didn't get a response. Maddy's eyes had glazed over as soon as she'd answered the last question, and now she stood perfectly still, gazing intensely at the rows and rows of dusty bottles lining dustier shelves. Her lips moved, but no words came out. As Samantha watched, the flask of red liquid twitched, seemingly of its own accord. Maddy craned her neck up at it and scowled. In response, a smaller bottle next to the first, and surely one big enough to hold a few drops of something, began to glow. Her scowl shifted to a wry smile. Please, you don't need to open anything new on my account. Gotcha. Your answers were interesting. Coming from some people that might sound like a non-committal remark, but coming out of Maddy it might be the most effusive praise you ever get. So what are your questions? I'm still having a little trouble figuring out how they relate to each other though. Is that important? I try to maintain a vague hope that maybe one day things might make sense. And until then, I just try to go with the flow, of course. Sorry for trying to psychoanalyze you there. Try? Do you think you failed? No. What's the verdict then? Well, for one, you tend to accept things as you see them. You don't try to interpret things based off of unrelated frameworks or thought patterns. That said, you do try and make sense of the connections between things when you can. Maddy's pretty sure she has all the pieces. She's found that putting all of the pieces together requires a bit more effort. But it's no big deal to you if you don't. You just mark it as an unknown variable and move on. And that reads to me as an intensely pragmatic approach. Would you agree? I suppose. You're the sort who doesn't buy drinks to enjoy them. You buy them as camouflage. If you're experienced with pretending to be something you're not in order to blend in, you might develop a talent for recognizing when others are trying to do the same. To hide your face behind. To project a veneer of being untouchable while you watch. Watch what? Everything, I suppose. You take everything in the same way I do. So you're saying that I'm attentive, but that I don't worry about instantly understanding how things are interconnected. Because you're confident that eventually you'll understand it anyway. How do you figure that? You've been washing my hands this whole time. Is that weird? To watch an attractive bartender mixing a very fancy looking cocktail? To appreciate the craft? No. But given just how interested you are in what my hands are doing, I'd wager that you've got some experience in my field. So, are you just really bad at picking up on when you're being flirted with, or? It's fine, sweetie. In fact, it's pretty cute. I meant in alchemy. The field of alchemy. Uh-huh. I'm sure you're very accomplished in alchemy. Just take the drink. Shit, this is really good. Yeah? Too good to ignore, yeah. It's smoky but bittersweet, and it's the contrast with the bitters that really makes you appreciate the sweetness. Or is it the other way around? Almost makes me feel like I'm reaching the end of something. Like I've got a lump in my throat from saying goodbye, but I can't quite tap into that feeling. Like, what did you even put in this? Mezcal, artichoke, bitters, gold heart bitters, and a slice of gorilla lime. Gorilla lime? That can't be a real thing. It's just hard to acquire. Called that because if you bite into one, it feels like you got punched by a gorilla. Physically? No, emotionally. Ah, makes sense. I'm not a wizard. Prove it. Ugh. That guy the boss you mentioned? Yeah. He good to you? I'm sorry? Does he treat you well? Yeah. To a fault actually, for past the point where it's rational for him to still be nice to me. No one's ever accused old Che of being rational. That doesn't stop him from trying to be the voice of reason. Good. Actually, I'm sorry, that reminds me, I have to dash. Got some setup work for a project to finish before the sun comes up. Maddy rarely engages in careless shenanigans, so when she's up to something, you'd best be on your guard. But without you here, who will enable my latent alcoholism? You can just reach over the bar and grab the gin. Tonic's in the bar fridge. Will do. Come back soon, though. I'd love to discuss alchemy with you some more. Uh-huh. Catch you later. Wait, one last thing. What was the meaning behind the question about what wine I like? Oh, I was just curious. That's the last one, I reckon. Does it have the magic caps in it? I think so. You can just call them caps, you know. They're built for something different. I refuse to use non-specific language. Uh-huh. Yeah, they're in here. Okay, what about the, thing? You'll have to be a little more... Oh, you know, the thing. Sparky thing. Ashley likes having friends who can understand her even when she fails to be specific. Electric. Sweetie, how long have you been awake? It is better for you if you don't know, I think. Do you mean the voltage regulator? That's the one. Good job. It's in one of the other boxes. I didn't think we needed another one, though. Are you kidding? The last one literally melted. It's a good thing I have an extremely sick metal arm, otherwise I would have been badly injured. Ashley's metal arm is a point of pride. She wouldn't trade it for anything, not even the arm that it replaced. Yeah, thank goodness. Is there anything missing? I shall check. Need some espresso? I think I will literally die if I have any more. Hey, that's really mature of you. Nice job. Yeah, whatever. You can get me some chocolate if you want. Don't tell Ashley that chocolate has trace amounts of caffeine. At least it's not more espresso. Sure thing. Be back in a moment. Oh, hey dude. Where have you been?
Hey. We're just chilling. Not much to do when you're waiting to die.
Hey! Come on, Cooper. I know you're hiding down there somewhere. Hold this, will you? Did Ned really say that?
Yeah.
Do you believe it?
I'm not sure.
Well, it's not a lie.
The most dangerous lies are the lies we tell ourselves. But
it's not the whole truth either.
And
I don't quite have the time to untangle it for you. Maddy's the sort of person to weave tangled webs without too much consideration for who's going to have to untangle them. I've got a hungry teenager downstairs and a summoning ritual to complete.
She's part of this too.
Don't you take that judgy tone with me.
Hey, for it to be far be it from me to moralize at you.
Getting a lot of that these days, mate. I'm just trying to keep everyone happy.
Tough gig.
I'll say. Alright, now if you can solder those two wires... No, not those ones. Bloody hell. Who programmed you? Bet she's a jerk. Incredibly intelligent, but a very bad programmer.
Ashley has learned how to program exactly the minimum amount she needs to and not one iota more. You're talking about yourself, right?
Wow.
That was a bad throw. Wow. You're really out of it, huh? Where'd you even pull this from?
Leg holster.
You aren't wearing a leg holster.
Arm holster.
A prosthetic?
It holds 6 million knives. Don't question me on this. I'm the expert here.
Hey, need a hand?
Dude, you should check yourself before you fucking wreck yourself.
No, that's not what I meant.
Oh. Yeah, I guess you can help.
Oh, I just got the hand joke. That took me a bit longer. Before I ask what you need, what are you even doing? Maddy mentioned a summoning circle?
Something like that. You ever wanted to live forever?
I'd trade that for just having a second chance, honestly.
Well, grab me that box, please.
You can't just leave that hanging like that.
Watch me. And while you watch me leave you hanging, you can go get the box. Thank you.
Yeah, so, this is really heavy. What's even in here?
100 meters of heavy gauge copper cable. In a basement full of magical items, this copper wire might be the thing most in danger of being stolen. It's easier to flip at least. bunch of capacitors that I'm going to wire together soon, and some various bits and bobs.
That would definitely explain the weight.
Oh, there's also a bunch of clamps.
So, what do you need?
Validation. Chocolate. Coffee. A school system that doesn't punish me for having weird and niche interests.
I meant more,
Communism. Ashley is a real party girl.
I don't think I can get you communism, sorry. And isn't Maddy already getting you chocolate?
You're a terrible comrade, Kishan. If I wasn't close to hitting the LD50 of caffeine, I'd ask you for some coffee, so all I can do right now is give me that sweet validation.
Okay. You're a real thumbs up. Good human. I don't know what sort of validation you want here.
I feel like I'm stuck in a loop of trying things that are inevitably going to fail, and I don't know how much of it is my fault for not being good enough at a monumentally difficult task. I'm used to being effortlessly good at things, but I feel like my brain is full of bees on this one. And can I deal with failure? I don't think I can. I'm not equipped for failure. My entire perception of myself is that I'm good at things. I'm gifted and talented and incredibly afraid that I'm going to let people down at a vital moment. This is that vital moment. But I just sit here, paralyzed. And I rationally know that a lot of this pressure is just me being hard on myself. But Maddy and we tried this already, and we failed pretty badly. It was a disaster.
For Ashley of all people to call something a disaster, it must have been a real catastrophe.
I can't understand how badly it turned out. So even with all the prep I'm doing, is this enough? Did we learn enough to do it properly? Numbers and formulas and hard science are good, but I can't shake this feeling that I'm going to screw it up for everyone. And I'm so afraid of letting Maddy down.
There are few things we fear more than disappointing the people we love most. That's heavy as shit, mate.
You reckon?
Fully, yeah. I don't know what to say to that, except that I don't think Maddy would ever feel let down by you. I know I've only been here for like 2 days, but her and Jay seem to really care about you. I'm sure that extends to accepting you for who you are, limitations and all. Though honestly, I think you give up a pretty strong vibe of not giving a shit about your limitations. Or that you indiscriminately power through them with some sort of raw caffeine-fueled fury. Anyway, you're immensely powerful and I'm terrified of you.
Fair enough.
I was never really super smart or gifted or anything.
Sometimes the people who think they're not gifted were just never made aware of their gifts.
I just floated through school and work and never focused on much except having a good time. I can definitely imagine the sort of pressure you'd have on you though, especially given how big this task is.
Yeah.
So, while I can't say for sure that this thing is going to be easy or even successful,
in the terminal it can feel like nothing is easy. Even Sunday mornings come with their own set of trials and tribulations.
I do think it's important that you work on giving yourself a break from the weight of your own expectations.
But
it's not an easy thing, I'm sure, but my boyfriend is similar. He's very hard on himself when he feels like he's letting himself down.
So, it doesn't go away?
I don't think so. I think it just gets easier to deal with as you learn to be more empathetic to yourself. Self-forgiveness and all that.
It's often hardest to forgive someone when you're aware of all their flaws.
It definitely took him a good few years to even begin to be able to deal with his self-imposed shame.
I guess I can try that.
You can try that, or you can continue feeling super bad about yourself all the time.
I mean, when you put it like that.
Right?
I hate how rational you sound.
I know. I'm disgusted at myself.
Sup, nerds? What's going on in this thread?
What?
You're suddenly in a good mood. I maybe ate some of your chocolate. Maybe Maddy ate some chocolate. Maybe grass is green. Oh, I swear to God, if there isn't any left. Yes, we've been over this before. You'll comprehensively murderize me. You'd hate it if someone failed to be comprehensive when they went about murderizing you. I've seen some incomplete murderizing attempts and they ain't pretty. Don't worry, I only ate a little bit. Excellent.
Is this enchanted chocolate or just normal chocolate?
What about unenchanted dark chocolate? Where does that fall in the normal abnormal chocolate spectrum? Does he deserve to know? I don't know. I kinda like the mystery.
It's completely normal chocolate, isn't it?
Maybe. Maybe not.
Can I have some then? Come on, you owe me.
For what?
Helping you set up all this.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
This is totally normal chocolate.
Yeah. Did you expect it to not be that?
Well, you implied.
We never implied. You came up with that one all on your own.
Damn it.
Alright, I'm bored. Later, dogs. Don't you run off on me, miss. This Magic Hat Bank isn't even half done. I'll do it later. For now,
the game is lagging. Wait. There.
For now, I'm gonna go take a nap under that table. If anyone disturbs me, come on. You'll be happy.
Confused.
Ticklish.
Extra hungry.
Oh,
Mention me in your diary.
Yep. Maddy doesn't keep a diary. All those thoughts and memories just stay cooped up in her head. One day she's going to run out of space or sanity. I will exact terrible revenge on both of you later.
Jeez, that phrase definitely doesn't start with an M.
Aha! Bye!
I'm not being too hard on her, am I?
You? Nah, she thinks you're great.
Good.
I could probably stand to give her a break though. There are a few people who appreciate a break more than Ashley, especially when it's a break from Maddy. I mean, I'm expecting a lot from her right now.
She does seem a little overloaded.
Fuck. But she'd tell me if things were too much, right?
I don't know. It seems like she idolizes you.
Idolatry is a sin, isn't it? It can't be healthy behavior.
I reckon she's pretty happy to burn herself out for you, you know?
I just need her for the next 4 or 5 hours. Then everything will be okay.
Is that when you're planning on performing the ritual?
This thing? Yeah.
What's it for anyway?
Conduit ritual. Super forbidden magic.
Oh, cool.
Are you actually cool with this, or...?
Not hugely, actually.
Why's that?
Well, you know, I was talking to Ned earlier and... Actually, don't worry about it. It's fine, don't care. What's it do?
You know how it took a couple hours from you down here?
Vividly.
This is just a bigger scale version of that spell. Higher capacity.
Who are you taking ours from?
Nobody. Don't worry, bud. You're at a deficit already. When you get deep enough into the hole, you kind of stop worrying about climbing out of it and just accept your fate. I can't touch you.
Right, okay. So even if you're lying right now, shouldn't you have taken enough to pay off your debt multiple times at this point?
Huh. The hours weren't for that. Or maybe it just felt like hours. It can be hard to judge time when you're wandering around aimlessly.
What the hell did you do with them then? Where'd they go?
For our research we used the following materials. Wire of copper, heavily drawn. Jasmine chalk, not Dover. Sustained electric supply of at least 20 volts. Car battery. Capacitors composed of. Need better durability. However, we believe extra components are required. Akunri's properties were varied with the layout of a summoning circle, and despite the departure of a test subject during our trials, we were able to ascertain a number of efficiency-oriented refinements. Certain kinds of optimization require real dedication to craft, as well as the absolute necessity of a living but non-sentient vessel to act as a so-called storage container. More testing is required, though obtaining a willing subject for future methodology evaluations without attracting the attention of the Council will be difficult, to say the least. I stored them. All those hours are in this tree.
Okay.
I miss eating.
Why? What was your diet like?
I remember sushi.
Sushi? I thought you said you were a crab.
What, you think crabs aren't dexterous enough to make sushi?
Unquestionably, yes.
What is this, sushi? It's delicious, is what it is.
Rice and fish and seaweed. Humans eat it.
And crabs.
I just don't know where a crab would find rice or a way to make good sushi.
I also eat garbage. Yes, I also eat garbage, on occasion.
Unbelievable, you two. Unbelievable.
Garbage is good for the soul.
Garbage is garbage. It's in the name.
What did you eat when you were alive then?
Grass. Just normal grass.
Boring.
And tree roots sometimes.
There are tree roots here, yes? Yeah, there are. Why don't you jump on them?
Well, I'm not hungry. We don't eat. And also, more importantly, they are powerfully magical. Maddy needs them. If we damage things that Maddy needs, then Ashley will be disappointed in us.
A suboptimal state of affairs. I can feel the power in them too. However, I do not feel compelled to jump on them. What a strange thought. Love to jump. Jump sushi, jump sandwiches, jump garbage.
You're so weird.
That's a lot of words. Jesus. What do we take? Cipher. Idolizes. Petty thievery. What else do we take? What do I remember? Communism, definitely. Sadist. Metal arm. And no, not wounded. Don't want wounded. Pedantry. There we go. Maddy. Lore. Melbourne. Communism's Melbourne? Alright. Lore. Food. Ashley. And guests.